I'm just going to open my presentation here. All right. If you do have to see my messy desktop, please don't worry about that. It's a little bit crazy. I'm going to get to the presentation. Here we are.
Perfect.
So thanks. Can you see it okay, Sam?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks, Kari.
Okay, great. So yeah, thanks for the great introduction. So I'm from a company called AAT. We're based in Auckland, New Zealand. Let's turn that down. And we're one of the newest apps in the Xero ecosystem. So we've been around, we've been commercial for about 8 months now, and we're currently targeting the hospitality and retail sectors. And we are available in Australia, New Zealand, and we've just recently made a move into the US and Canada as well. So we're growing really, really fast. And we're super keen. The product that I'm going to show you is targeted at small business owners directly, but we're really finding that we do need the help of advisors and bookkeepers and accountants to sort of help introduce this product and get it working most efficiently for small business owners, because small business owners are not typically technically savvy, and we're finding that bookkeepers and accountants are typically referring software. And I think I've been working in this ecosystem for a few years now, so I think we're definitely on the right track with this. So just to do a quick introduction, I'm also here with Hannah Craig. I'm just going to turn my screen. Hannah is answering all your questions today, so definitely shoot some questions while I'm talking, and Hannah will answer, and I'll stop to see if there's anything that I can answer, maybe partway through. So as you can tell, I'm not from this area of the world. I'm Canadian, and I came to AAT from another artificial intelligence software company based in Canada. And I met the founders of AAT at a QuickBooks Online conference in San Jose last year. I can't believe it was only 1 year ago, because it feels like 10 years. But what I really liked about what AAT is doing is they're really wrapping around the business owner. So I'll get more into that in a bit, but they're really passionate about helping small business owners succeed and introducing AI to them in a very human way. And that to me is super important. I come from a family of small business owners, and I know sort of the challenges that they face and how hard it is to run a business. So I think technology like this is really changing the game. So my contact info is below, and so is Hannah. So definitely feel free to email us and get in touch after this as well. So before I get into what we do, I'm going to talk more about the problems we solve. And this is a persona that we use. This is a small business owner. His name is Fletch. And I'll just talk a little bit about his problems. So he's a retail owner. He owns 3 different outlets. So he's a busy guy. He's growing his business. He's got 20 employees and growing. He's a husband and father, so much like a lot of your clients, he's got a lot on the go and a lot of different things that he has to own up to, and lots of draws on his time. He's quite advanced, so he's using cloud-based technology throughout his business, and he really does like making data-led decisions, but it's not always that easy. So I'm just taking a look at his tech stack, and hopefully a lot of you are working with similar tech stacks and you're referring them as well. So he uses an accounting system, obviously. He uses Xero. Point of sale, he's using Vend. He's got a cloud-based payroll system, rostering tool, potentially Deputy. He uses payment software and social media to do his marketing as well. So he's using Facebook or Instagram. And some of the problems that he faces are he's time poor. He wears all of the hats in the business. So he's not only the business owner, but he's also the head of marketing, and he's the HR guy, and he's also quite often at the front of the business working with customers as well. He's got a lot of questions, and there's no easy answers from the day-to-day. So he does have, like I said, he's got all of these wonderful cloud technologies, but all of that data is siloed. And he finds it hard to really find time to sit down, dig into those softwares on his own, pull data, and get the information he needs to make daily business decisions. So he quite often doesn't do that. So he's out consulting his peers or the guy next door or whoever it is, and he's either making no decision at all or he's making gut decisions quite often. So he's not making a lot of data-led decisions. He's also got a lot of external challenges. So we're, like I said, based in Auckland, and I don't believe any of these companies exist here, but they're coming. Definitely in Canada, I saw a lot of challenges when these companies came into Canada. IKEA has been around since I've been around, but when Amazon came in, it really changed the game for business owners. So just to give you an example, I've got friends who can order toilet paper online and have it delivered to their door within 24 hours for free. So that's quite game-changing when it comes to retail businesses, and small business owners need to sort of address that and make some changes so they can compete. And it's really challenging. So this is a New Zealand fact. So 46% of small business owners do not survive past 5 years, but I've done this research in North America as well, and it's exactly the same numbers across the board. So there's big challenges when it comes to running a business, and it really is a make or break situation. So where does this leave Fletch? So Fletch is very challenged, and sometimes he wants to sort of crawl into a hole and just hide, but we're here to save him. So the answer to the problem really is in the business. We believe that Fletch has, especially with those cloud-based softwares, he's got all of the information that he needs to solve these challenges. He's got excellent marketing data, financial data, and operational data, and that's what he needs to address these challenges. And as we know, most problems actually don't require more data. We need more insights, and we need to develop more useful truths, and it's more about what we do with that data and what decisions we make based on that data. And I think that's where the role of the advisor really does come in. So a little bit more, I don't know if this is going to play. Oh yeah, it is automatically. So if you can envision someone like Fletch, he's got those 3 different locations, can't keep a handle on the data. He's always in multiple different places, and he's got his family. If he had conversational access to that data from wherever he was, that would be game-changing for him. So now he can get information about what his sales are in each location, who showed up for work late, what his cash flow is looking at like from the palm of his hand. So he really does now with AIDR have access to his business from wherever he is. So what is AIDR? So AIDR is a digital assistant for smarter business. So what we do is we bring all of those different data sets, I'll go to the slide, into one place on the mobile phone. So, and we apply AI technology and machine learning technology, and we give the user conversational access to that data. So like in Fletch's case, he's got his point of sale data, his rostering data, all of that is connected through AIDR, and now he just has to text his business and ask questions. So some of the features around that, like I said, you can connect all of your apps, and it's really, really, really easy onboarding. One of our principles as a company is we want to keep it as simple as possible. So you can basically just download AIDR from the App Store and go ahead and connect your business. So you would just press the connect button. So you can see here, QuickBooks Online, just press connect, and then you just have to enter your QuickBooks Online authorization, and we connect to that data within probably about 30 seconds to a couple of minutes, depending on the size of the data set. To the right, you can see some sample questions. So one of the biggest challenges that we've seen is that we've now given conversational, like super easy access to this data, but business owners don't know what to ask. So that's been really interesting, and we've got to, me as a communicator and as a marketer, that's one of my biggest challenges, is really educating our customers on how they can use this information to, like I said, develop useful truths and make good data-led decisions. So one way we do that within the application is we give them sample questions that they can ask to get the conversation started. It's, like I said, super simple conversational user interface. So all you have to do is text or use voice to text. Or we just did a recent integration with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. So you can now use your voice to ask your business questions. So basically you could say, hey Alexa, open Ader, and then start having a conversation. So how much money are we owed? Who owes me money? What was my net profit today? All the hundreds of questions you could ask via our interface, now you can do that with your voice assistant. In this example also, if you look on the screen, one thing we don't do is dashboards. So we think that the applications that we connect with do really good dashboards, and that's not something we're looking to take on. So if you ask a question and you want to dig deeper into your Xero dashboard or your Counta dashboard, we'll take you there directly from our app. So you can see the little bottom in the bottom of the phone there, the button. If anyone recognizes this guy, your Knight Rider dreams have come true. So like I said, we've got the voice integration now, and that's been really exciting for us because we really are changing the way a business owner does business. So they can now get all of the information they need from wherever they are. And this is really interesting when we're moving into the US market, for example, because pretty much everyone has a voice assistant there now. So this is table stakes for them. One of the really amazing things that we're doing is proactive notifications. And this is where we see our customers getting the most value. Like I said, a lot of them aren't sure what to ask or what to look into. So we've started setting up Ader. Ader will start to, as it takes a look at your historical data, it will start to recognize patterns or anomalies, and we'll start to send you proactive notifications. So we've just got an example here. I think this one is about cash flow. So we'll start to send you notifications about your cash flow so you can stay on top of it. We'll also let you schedule reminders. So the screen on the right is showing, you can't see it quite well, but it shows your top products. So maybe the business owner has asked, what were my top selling products today so far? And you can schedule that, so Ader will tell you every single day. As we grow, we're obviously always growing this product. You can now ask hundreds of different questions, and we're always looking to grow. That's very early stage artificial intelligence. We need more and more questions to be asked so we can continue to grow the product. We've just recently started beta testing sales predictions. So you could ask Ader, what do my sales look like over the next week? And Ader will give you an answer based on historical data. So that's pretty powerful. That's pretty new and super helpful to business owners who are looking to develop their schedules and that kind of thing. We're also doing better visuals. So as you can see, like I said, we don't do dashboards, but we know people like to see charts and graphs, and it's way more interesting and impactful and more likely that they'll read it if they're seeing it in a graphic format. So constantly evolving. So basically, the system is, like I said, our goal is to turn data, give easy access to information, and give the business owner useful truths that they can turn into data-led actions. I'm not going to go through this part. I'll come back to that. But first I wanted to talk about our advisory. Do we have any questions so far? Or? No one's asking questions. Come on. It's so strange talking to this thing because no one talks back. So definitely, if anyone has questions, shoot them through. There's got to be one. Just ask something. Hannah's sitting here doing nothing. So like I said, we really do believe that there's a role for the advisor, and we see this as a really good tool. We're working with accountants and bookkeepers all over Australasia currently. They're helping us build the product. We're getting tons of good feedback on how we can answer questions in a better way, and how they can use this product for their own practices as well. So I wanted to introduce everyone, since I have your attention, to our new advisory portal concept. So we brought this concept to XeroCon Brisbane just recently and got a ton of amazing feedback, and it's been very, very, very well received. So we really think it's going to be a strong part of the AATR solution. So I'll just quickly introduce you to it. So 3 things that the AATR portal does for the advisor is we give you leading indicators. So now you have access to your client's data, so potentially you have access, hopefully, to Xero and potentially a couple others. We give you access to the full data picture. So you can really see what is going on across your client's entire business if they've connected all of their software to AATR. We give you all of those proactive notifications that we send to your customer. Those will go to you as well. So you really get a good picture of what is going on in their business. And we think that's really important because the gap is we need to, like I said, take that data and turn it into a data-led decision, and business owners need help with that. So that's where the advisor comes in. And then we also give you the ability to give advice in the form of playlists. So you can set up questions that your customers should be asking every single day of their business, and they can use that to run reports every single day. So just a quick view, like I said, it's just a concept right now, and we're going to be working, I've put together an AATR, what we call the AATR Advisory Network, and that's where we connect with all of the accountants and bookkeepers who are keen to get involved, and we're getting feedback not only on this, but also on the AATR product itself. So I'll just give you a quick overview. So what you're seeing here is the desktop user interface for accountants and bookkeepers. So if you had your clients connected to AATR, you would see them on the left side there. You could see the number of apps they've connected and if they've given you access to all of those connections. Next, like I said, you will get all of the notifications. Again, this is just a concept, but you may see maybe AATR sends a notification to one of your customers about a drop in sales or an employee that's always late. This is where you'll see that, and this is your area to give them advice as well. You can also ask AATR questions, and what I said before, when it comes to machine learning and AI, it really is almost like training a toddler and basically helping the toddler understand what kind of questions we should be answering. And as we learn and grow, we get better and better, and we need advisors to help us get there. So this is the area where you can train, and then you can also do playlists. That's quickly just shows you where the user interface will show on the desktop. And these are where your playlist would be. So like I said, you could do an end of day report, or you could set up a report for your clients to run for daily sales. Whatever it is, this is your IP, and this is where you pass it on. And you can pass it on to all of your clients that you have on the AATR platform. So that's pretty much what I wanted to go through today. And I think, Sam, I'll just leave it to you maybe to ask some questions, or if anyone else wants to ask questions from here. Like I said, we are putting together the AATR Advisory Network, so you can definitely let me know by sending me an email if you're interested in being involved in that. We'd love to get your help.
Great, thanks, Kari. So did anyone have any questions? Right now is the perfect time to write them in the Q&A field.
Have I lost? I probably pressed mute. Did I press mute on you?
No, can you hear me here?
I can, yeah.
Perfect. So if anyone's got any questions for Kari, please send them through now. That'd be great. And yeah, it looks like some very interesting tech. I think it's definitely the way of the future, just being able to ask questions, that's for sure. It's almost like a management accountant in your pocket kind of idea, which is very cool. So yeah. We'll just give everyone a moment if they've got any questions to ask. Otherwise, we might wrap up, but we'll just give everyone a moment.
Yeah, do you have any questions off the top of your head, Sam? Or
what industries do you find this is the most helpful with at the moment?
It all depends on the cloud-based technology that we connect with. That is really what drives us to our users. It only makes sense if one of the biggest value propositions is all of these data sets coming into one place, because one of the biggest frustrations for business owners is they have to access multiple different areas to get data or pull it or whatever it is. So currently we're focused on restaurants industry, for example. So we've connected with Counta, Hospo IQ, and then also, like I said, the rostering tools, so like Deputy and payroll. So we've kind of, how we've determined this, we've looked at restaurant, hospo, and retail industries, and we've looked at what softwares are most commonly used, and that's how we've determined what we integrate with. Eventually, we're going to integrate with hundreds and hundreds of different softwares. We're currently integrated with about 20, but for us to grow as a business, we really need to focus in on a few so we can make those, like I said, grow that AI, grow that intelligence piece, and then we can apply that to other point of sale systems, for example. So this kind of technology would apply to literally any industry. Like we are constantly getting calls from construction industry, for example. I know I've got experience in oil and gas, and data access is challenging across any industry, and giving someone conversational access to that data is so important, and it saves so much time, but we really do have to focus. So right now it is hospitality and retail.
Film and TV industry.
What's that?
How would this be applied to the film and TV industry?
That's a good, I'm not sure, but I'm sure from a marketing perspective, it's huge, because marketing is all about making data-led decisions now. So we are working on building out our Facebook business connection. So I'm assuming I haven't personally done a lot of like TV buying, for example, or advertising on TV. So I'm not too sure, but for a marketing executive who does do that, this would be huge, because we, like, even to this day, like, we don't have this access to our marketing data, Hannah and I and our marketing team, and we're constantly making data-led decisions with our ad spends and looking at results. And we are working on that with AAT, and like a Google Ads connection is going to be massive for us. Does that answer your question? Jackie? I'm sorry, but I don't know enough about that industry, so.
Sounds like from a base level though, every industry can benefit from some key questions that you can ask. What would be some of the most common questions that you see being asked based on the data at the moment?
So much of it is cash flow related. I think cash flow is what's keeping most of our customers are currently in restaurant space, and they want to know what their sales were this week compared to last week, what their top selling products are, what their worst selling products are. So it's like asking those questions so you can make decisions that incrementally, like maybe they're really small changes in your business, but incrementally are going to make big changes.
Yep.
Wage costs are huge. So everybody, especially in New Zealand right now, there's a lot of focus on increased wages and that kind of thing, which makes it really hard for a small business to survive. So making sure your wage cost and your revenue are matching up. So you can ask AAT, what were my wage costs compared to revenue last week? So you can do your roster a little better for the following week. Those kinds of things seem to be most powerful. Do you have anything does that answer it? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really powerful too, because good as us as advisors to understand the kind of questions that are being asked, because quite often it's clients, as you know, they don't always tell you what they want. You've got to kind of ask the right questions and get to the underneath, whereas they'll talk to something like this quite openly, knowing that no one's going to look at them a bit strangely or judge them. So it's really good for us to understand as well that people are really wary of these things and areas that we can assist with as well as triggers. Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah, I think so. And like that portal, we'll have to see, like that's something we're going to have to test, because like you said, they're not coming forward with this information. And I think there's so much emotion when it comes to finance and to small business success. And like potentially, I don't know why they would withhold that information from an accountant, but maybe they're embarrassed or afraid of what they might hear. But that is part of our intent, is to open up that aspect to accountants and bookkeepers so they can see what their clients are asking as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. And I think just as a bit of positive feedback too, it might empower you guys to release at some point as an idea, just like a short 1 or 2 pager of questions really being asked across the small business market. Because I know as bookkeeping and accounting professionals, we like to keep across industry trends. And so with a tool like ADA, I think it's really powerful that you can be collecting a lot of source data and questions from small business, and then using that data to create a really cool kind of survey result that shows us insights into our own clients, which I think is pretty powerful.
I think so too. I think like it goes 2 ways. Like it really does. Like we are getting a lot of really interesting questions every day, but I feel like they could be so much stronger if they were getting this kind of advice from advisor, right? So I'm keen to see, once we bring these two pieces together, is will the advisory piece help small business owners ask more questions? That's the hope.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
yeah, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, so if anyone's interested in joining the ADA Advisory Network, they can express their interest using advisor@ada.ai. Is that the email address to message?
Yes.
Perfect. And there's a 30-day free trial there too. So if you guys want to test it out, maybe even try it for yourselves, I think even for our own businesses, this could be quite handy and an interesting experiment as well. So that's awesome. Thanks,
yeah,
Carl.
and please do what you can do if you have a client you think might benefit. You can also get access to their account right now, not with the portal, but you could be a member on their account. So if you have a client that trusts you with all of their data, I recommend connecting that client and then getting invited to their account so you can try it out.
Brilliant. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of bookkeepers, sometimes people tell us more than they tell their own partners. So interested area. But that's awesome. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you joining us. And thanks everyone for joining us for today's webinar. We'll see you next month.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.